Hey, this is Dr. Johnny. You know, if you read the papers at all last week, you probably have heard that Walmart and Target and GNC and Walgreens were all accused of selling supplements that were basically worthless. And you can just imagine the kind of media reaction, and you can also predict exactly what side of the fence everybody came down on. You know, like in anything, when there's a big event in the world news and CNN goes out and asks for comments, you know exactly what the Republican guy is going to say. You know exactly what the Democrat guy is going to say. They're all going to stick to their talking points. You're not basically going to learn anything. So here we have this story about fake supplements, and all the people who like to talk about how unregulated supplements are and how dangerous they are and how the FDA doesn't supervise them and there's no research on them. These guys are having a party. This is like red meat to them. You know, they always knew supplements were worthless. They always knew they're dangerous, and here's this study that shows it. And of course, on the other side, on our side, if you will, there's a lot of talk about how the test that was used to determine the quality of these supplements was a very flawed test. So, okay, let's see what really happened. The first thing to know is that the only supplements that are involved in this case are herbs. It's not vitamins, it's not minerals, it's not vitamin C, not vitamin E, not tocotrienols, omega-3s. It's herbal supplements only. And specifically, they sent warnings out to products that contained ginkgo biloba, St. John's wort, ginseng, garlic, echinacea, and saw palmetto, all very popular and readily available herbs. Now, I want to be clear about that because you're sure to see the anti-vitamin crowd try to paint all supplements with this paintbrush, and it's important that we're only talking about products that contain these distinct 5 herbs. Now, the second thing to know is, what were the actual products that they used to test? You know, and personally, I wouldn't go shopping for herbs at Walmart. I just wouldn't. And secondly, if you look at them, a lot of these ginseng products that they tested were the kind where the label is all about vitality and male performance. And, you know, they're real low-end, crummy mass market products that you get at like where you get your gas. And then there's the third thing, and this is the real meat of the story, and that's the test that they used. Now, the test is called DNA barcoding. And I'm no forensic scientist. I can't tell you exactly how they do DNA barcoding, but I can tell you this. It's absolutely the wrong test to determine what these guys were trying to determine. And how do I know that? Because even the people who have been the most outspoken and critical of the supplement industry, even they agree it was the wrong test. Now, I'm not talking about people like us that use supplements, believe in supplements, are fans of supplements. No, I'm talking about the people who want to get supplements off the market, the mainstream docs who think nutrition is a crock, the enemies of supplements. Even they agree the DNA barcoding test is worthless. So here's an example. There's a guy named Peter Cohn. He's a professor at the Harvard Medical School. You can look him up on Google. The guy's an outspoken critic of the supplement industry. He even did a blast last year in the New England Journal of Medicine that was anti-supplements. Even he says, DNA barcoding, it's not really the right way to look for herbs. Now, why is that? Because you could be looking at a really high-quality herbal extract, and the extract, since it's not the plant itself, won't have any of the plant's DNA, but it's still perfectly kosher. So Cohn says, no, so the industry's kind of correct that these findings really tell us nothing about how much of the plant was in the actual supplement. And you know it just killed him to say that, right? So in fact, there happens to be a test. It's called fingerprint technology, and that's the test that should be used. But anyway, let's review what we've got here and what we can learn from it. This is important not to take the wrong lesson from this action that the New York State Attorney General is taking against these stores for selling these supplements. So number one, a bunch of cheap herbal supplements in Walmart and a couple of other places were tested to see if they had the right amount of herbs in them. Everybody, even the most ardent critics of the supplement industry, agree that the test that they used for this is basically worthless, and it shows nothing. Meanwhile, the worthless test showed that some of these mass market herbs didn't contain what the label said it did. So on the basis of this, what do we conclude? Well, obviously, if you want to measure something, you got to use the right test. That's the first conclusion. And while the headlines screamed about the results of the test, the fine print about the fact that the test was useless, and everybody agreed that the test was useless, that was kind of buried deep into the story. So, does this mean that I think that all the herbal supplements that they sell at Walmart and GNC are perfect? No, I don't. I know that this test tells us nothing, but that said, I've always believed that there are huge differences in quality among all kinds of supplements, not just the herbs. Take magnesium. You can get magnesium oxide, which is really cheap. You can get magnesium citrate, magnesium glycinate. Ingredients vary in their quality. They vary in their cost. Manufacturers vary in how stringent they are with testing and how much integrity they have. So the lesson from this witch hunt against a couple of cheap herbal products from big box stores, the lesson is not to not buy supplements. It's to buy better supplements. There's lots of reputable companies out there that make herbs, that make supplements, many of them. I use what are called doctor brands, which are usually available only through health practitioners. Sometimes you can find them online. Just a few sample brands: Vital Nutrients, Metagenics, Designs for Health, Pure Encapsulations, Metabolic Maintenance, Thorne Research, VRP, which is Vitamin Research Products. You can find them online. There are some really good brands that are even available more widely than the doctor's brands that you can get in the stores, like Vitamin Shop. Barlean's is a great brand. Sauvage is a great brand. Jarrow, Terry Naturally, Ocean Blue, Garden of Life. Full disclosure, a couple of years ago I became a partner in a really great online store that sells all the doctor brands and the better consumer brands. It's called Rockwell Nutrition. It's a great place to buy all of these top brands. There are other places. You don't have to buy them from Rockwell. The point is, though, to look a little deeper than the headlines when it comes to nutrition stories. The story is not always what it seems to be. This is Dr. Jonny.